Ever wish you could just tell a computer what to do and bam, there it is?
Yeah, like no more wrestling with code, just pure creation.
Exactly. And today, we're diving into Pythagora.
Pythagora.
It's this AI tool that's claiming to build full-stack web apps all from your instructions.
Full stack meaning.
It handles everything, the looks, the logic, the whole shebang.
Wow. So unlike those simple code assistants, this is like managing the entire project.
From the initial idea to a real working app, supposedly.
Okay, color me intrigued. But how does it actually work? Sounds like magic.
Right. Well, think less magic, more like a super-powered dev team, off-packed into one AI.
Yeah, I'm listening.
So Pythagora uses these different agents that each have their own specialty, like a coding dream team.
So there's an agent for planning the app, one for writing the code.
Another one for testing, making sure it doesn't crash and burn.
And where do I fit into all of this?
You're the product manager, you've got the vision, and Pythagora's agents execute it.
So I'm basically in charge.
You got it.
Yeah.
You give Pythagora the details, the looks, the functions, everything.
And then what?
Then it gets to work, planning, choosing technologies, even writing the code itself.
Hold on, it actually writes the code.
It does. But get this. Let's say Pythagora hits a crossroads, multiple ways to go.
Yeah, okay.
It flags you down, shows you the options, and you, the human, make the call.
Now that is cool. It's actually collaborative, not just some AI overlords calling the shots.
Exactly. But can it build something more than a Hello World app? That's the question.
Right. Like, is this thing for real?
Well, we found a case study where Pythagora built a whole benchmarking application.
Benchmarking, huh? How much code are we talking?
Over 1,600 lines in under 2 hours.
No way. That's not just some toy app. That's serious stuff.
Yeah, and this benchmarking app is designed to test other AI models, like the ones that power those chatbots everyone's using.
So they're throwing Pythagora into the AI Thunderdome, and it's holding its own.
This is getting really wild. But where does this leave human coders?
Out of a job? Is that what you're thinking?
Yes, is this the end?
Actually, Pythagora's creators say it's not about replacing us entirely.
So it's not humans versus AI, it's more like...
More like changing how software is made. Think less time debugging, more time on the big picture stuff.
So more focus on the creative side, the strategic decisions.
Exactly. Imagine the possibilities if AI can handle the tedious stuff, freeing us up for what we're good at.
Yeah, that makes sense. But not everything needs a complex web app. What makes Pythagora stand out then?
Well, it builds real-world apps, not just those basic examples. Like that benchmarking application, that's serious code.
Way beyond what most AI tools can do, that's for sure.
And you're always in control, which is a big deal.
You're not just along for the ride.
Right. It's easy to worry about AI taking over, but with Pythagora, it's different.
It's because of that back and forth, those human decisions.
Exactly. Like a skilled apprentice who checks in with the master craftsperson. Speaking of cool features...
Oh, you got another one. Lay it on me.
Deployment.
Deployment. Okay, tell me more.
One click, and your project goes from lines of code to live on the internet.
No servers, no complicated setups.
Nope, it's all handled.
So anyone listening, even with zero tech experience, could actually create and share their own apps.
That's the idea, yeah.
That almost sounds too good to be true, right?
Well, it's important to be realistic.
Okay, so it's not like I just think about an app and POF, there it is.
Not yet, at least. But it's a glimpse into the future of software development.
And you mentioned open source earlier.
Right.
What makes that so important for AI, like Pythagora?
Well, Pythagora is powered by this technology called GPT-Pilot.
Okay.
And GPT-Pilot. It's open source.
Yeah.
Anyone can see the code, modify it, even use it in their own projects.
So it's like open access to the blueprint of the AI itself.
That's a great way to put it.
And the big benefit
Transparency.
is... Transparency, right, because you can see how it works.
Exactly. It addresses concerns about bias, unintended consequences, all of that.
Especially important with AI, with how fast things are changing.
Right. And there's another advantage with open source.
I'm all ears.
GPT-Pilot, the heart of Pythagora, it can evolve much faster.
Because you've got developers all over the world contributing.
It becomes this massive collaborative effort, pushing the limits of what AI can do.
I love it. But let's bring it back to our listener.
Right.
Why should they care about all of this? What's the takeaway?
Imagine a world where anyone can create complex software.
Wow. Regardless of technical skill.
That's the potential Pythagora is showing us.
That's a future I can get behind, democratizing these tools.
Totally. And for the techies out there, it's huge too.
Right. Even bigger than it already sounds.
Imagine. AI handles the boring stuff.
The repetitive tasks.
And you You're free to focus on the creative problem solving.
So it's not about replacing us, it's about...
It's about augmenting human capabilities.
Okay, so Pythagora could change things. We've established that.
Yeah.
But what about the downsides? There have to be some, right?
Of course, AI isn't perfect.
So what should we watch out for?
Well, Pythagora is limited by the AI models it uses.
So there are things it just can't do.
Right. Certain features, certain types of apps, they might be too complex, at least for now.
Because even though AI is evolving fast, there are still limits.
Exactly. And remember, Pythagora is a tool.
It needs us, right?
It needs human guidance to really shine. It's not about replacing us.
It's about working together.
Exactly. Like that saying, AI won't replace jobs.
But people who use AI will.
That's the one. Humans and AI collaborating. That's where the magic happens.
Finding that sweet spot, combining our strengths.
And that leads to innovations neither could achieve alone.
Like having a super-powered coding partner.
There you go.
Yeah.
But let's talk about when things go wrong.
Right, because no software is perfect, right? Bugs happen.
All the time.
So how does Pythagora handle that?
Those human-in-the-loop interactions are key, remember.
So it's not like you're on your own when a bug pops up.
Not at all. Pythagora can spot potential issues.
And then...
You describe the problem. Plain English, no need for jargon.
And Pythagora translates that.
It guides you through fixing it.
So it's like having a tech support team that speaks your language.
Exactly. And each bug you fix.
Enough happens.
Pythagora learns it gets better at resolving issues on its own.
So the more you use it, the smarter it gets.
You got it. But for someone wanting to try Pythagora,
Yeah, what's it like getting started?
the learning curve isn't too steep.
Okay, good to know.
It's available as an extension for VS Code.
VS Code. For anyone who doesn't know, that's
It's a code editor, kind of like a word processor, but for code.
the go-to tool for developers.
Exactly.
So you need VS Code to use Pythagora.
Yep, that's right.
And while it handles a lot, having some coding knowledge helps, I'm guessing.
It definitely makes things easier, yeah.
So not a requirement, but good to have.
Like a GPS, you don't need to be a cartographer to use it.
But knowing how maps work makes the whole experience smoother.
Perfect analogy. So even for coding newbies.
Pythagora is pretty approachable, especially if you're willing to learn as you go.
Absolutely. But let's step back for a second.
Big picture time.
Yeah. What does this all mean for the future of software development?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It really does feel like we're on the edge of something big here.
It's a brave new world, that's for sure. And like any powerful tool, well, there's always the potential for disruption.
So for our listeners, after diving deep into Pythagora with us, what's the one question they should be asking themselves?
Good question. I'd say if AI can already build these complex applications just from our instructions,
Yeah.
what happens when that AI gets even smarter?
Okay, I'm starting to see where you're going with this.
What if tools like Pythagora become so powerful, so accessible, that anyone could build sophisticated software?
It'd be like the Wild West of software development. Everyone's a programmer.
Exactly. And it wouldn't just be about who can write the best code anymore. It'd be about the ideas.
So then you start thinking, what does that mean for the future of work? For creativity?
Even just the definition of coding itself might change.
Hmm.
What if knowing how to code becomes like a basic skill, like reading?
Whoa, and if that happens, how does that change education, the economy, everything?
It's exciting and a little bit daunting all at the same time.
It really is, but that's what we're here for, right? Exploring these possibilities, thinking about the implications.
Exactly. And hopefully getting everyone ready for whatever's next.
Couldn't have said it better myself. One thing's for sure, the world of technology is changing fast, and AI like Pythagora is leading the charge. It's an amazing time to be paying attention. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into AI-powered development, and until next time, keep those minds curious.